Welcome to my first lesson in the verb collocation series. The first thing we need to know is what is a collocation and what is a verb collocation. Collocations refer to how certain words go together in a language. Fast food is a good example. Fast goes with food to express that the food takes very little time to prepare. But can we say quick food? Quick and fast have similar meanings after all. Well, no, we cannot say quick food and have the same meaning because only fast collocates with food to have this meaning. Verb collocations refer to how certain verbs collocate with other words to express an action or an activity. Verb collocations don't always translate directly from one language to another. In Spanish, for example, tocar el piano. Tocar translated directly into English is touch. But we do not say touch the piano. We say play the piano. Therefore, play is the verb we collocate with this action of the piano. In this lesson, we are going to study which actions collocate with the verbs have and take. So have and take are two of the most common verb collocations that we use, and they are often confused, especially by speakers of Romance languages. Let's have a look at some words and see if we can collocate them with the correct verb to express the action we want. Some of these are collocated with the verb have and some with take, and some can use either. Do you know the correct verb collocations here? Pause the video and try to guess. Here you have the answers. So we can see there are many more in the have column than in the take column, but some use both. We can say take or have a nap, shower or bath. They have the same meaning. A common error that many Romance language speakers make is to collocate take with food and drink. This is never correct. Anything you eat or drink is always collocated with have. Notice how there is no article with lunch or breakfast. This is the same with dinner, but when we want something to eat between meals, we can have a snack with the article. Let me put some of these into some sentences for you so that you are sure of the meanings. I have a headache, so I'm going to take a paracetamol. Notice the pronunciation of ache. She won't be in work today because she has a cold. I think have a coffee and have a chat are easy enough for you. Never say take a coffee. It is incorrect. Or take a beer or anything like that. We have a party, but if you really want to impress someone with your English, you can say throw a party. Yes, throw. I know it sounds strange, but it is the perfect verb collocation to express this action. As I said, anything we eat or drink, we use have. I usually have a sandwich for lunch and a coffee and toast for breakfast. Do not use take here. It is bad English. We can say we are going to have a nap or take a nap, which is a short sleep during the day, like a siesta in Spanish. We can take a walk, but we can also go for a walk, which is very common. We take the dog for a walk. Notice the location of the object here, the dog. We cannot say take for a walk the dog. I'm going to add another one which can use take or have, and that is look. You can ask someone to take a look at or have a look at something for you. Take a look at my new phone, for example. Don't forget to add the at as a preposition. We take a break when we want to stop doing what we are doing and do something else. Maybe we want to take a nap whilst taking a break. We can also use rest here, take a rest. Let's have or take a look at some other common collocations with these verbs. We use take with time a lot. It is a very common and useful collocation to know. Take your time studying these because they are complicated. Yes, take your time means to not do something in a rush or in a hurry. It takes a long time to learn a new language. It takes 5 minutes to make a coffee. This meeting is taking forever. I want to go home. Take ages is a really good one to know if you want to impress with your English. My son takes ages to get ready for school in the morning, and it's true, by the way. We use take when talking about holidays from work. I normally take 2 weeks holidays in July. It is very common to use off as a preposition in this context. You can tell your boss that you need to take a day off next week because you have family coming to visit or whatever. Maybe you need to take Monday off. By the way, it's not always necessary to use take with off in these contexts. We can say, I am off tomorrow, which means I am not working tomorrow and will be on holidays. This is the correct English form, and most non-native speakers say things like this incorrectly. We nearly always use take when talking about transport. I normally take the bus to work, but sometimes I take the metro. I am taking the train to Barcelona this weekend. Taking the car is too expensive, and taking a plane is not convenient. We can take a taxi, of course, or we may want to take the bus. We can also take a trip for the weekend, but you can also say go on a trip. I need to take this call. It will only take a minute. Take, in this context, means to receive or answer the phone when it is ringing. If you are the one who dials the number, then you are making a call, initiating the call. I need to make a call, but I will only be a minute, or it will only take a minute. Take turns is when you rotate an action with other people. My wife and I take turns cooking dinner. She does it on Sunday, Monday and Tuesday, and I do it on Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And on Saturday we go out. We take a risk when something is not certain to happen. I took a risk leaving my last job because I wasn't sure I would find another one as good. We use take when talking about education. Many years ago, I took a photography course and I also took classes in Spanish. I didn't have to take an exam for any of these courses, but I took lots of notes. Yes, we take an exam, but we can also say sit an exam, which is really good English for you to know. And a very common mistake I hear is make a photo. No, it's take a photo. Let's have a look at common verb collocations with have. Have is commonly used with issues relating to health. My father has a bad back, which means that he has problems with his back. Take note of this next one because it is very commonly used incorrectly. We have an operation. This is the correct way to say this. We can also have surgery, and there is no article with surgery. It's not a surgery. We can have an illness or a disease. We already mentioned have a pain or have a headache. We use have when talking about interacting with other people. I had a chat with an old friend last week. Chat is informal language and is very common with friends and family, and also with colleagues at work. We can also have a conversation, but we normally use this word when the subject is something serious. When we enjoy something, we can say, have a good time or have fun. When we have difficulties with something, we can say, have a problem. I'm having a problem with my phone and can't access the internet. My friend has moved to Italy and is having a hard time with the language. Now there are many more collocations with the verbs have and take, including many phrasal verbs. I am going to do many lessons on phrasal verbs over the coming weeks, so make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so that you don't miss any of them. At the end of this lesson, and in many of my lessons, I do an extra learning section where I discuss other aspects of the language that are related to things discussed in this lesson. So make sure to check it out as it's coming up right now. Ache and pain have the same meaning, but sometimes we use them in different ways. I have a pain in my head has the same meaning as I have a headache. Headache and backache are good examples of collocations. Here, head and back collocate with ache. Ache means the same as pain, but we do not say head pain, although back pain is common. Now listen carefully to the pronunciation of ache. Many students do not pronounce this word correctly, and they try to pronounce it the way it's written, like phonetically. It is not ache, it is ache, ache, ache. Be careful with the articles when talking about food. There is no A with breakfast, lunch and dinner. An exception is when you add a countable noun to them. I have a lunch meeting or a dinner event. It is correct to add the article here, but you cannot say I had a dinner at home last night. This all relates to countable and uncountable nouns. Breakfast, lunch and dinner are not countable in singular form, but when we use them with a countable noun such as meeting or event, etc., then it becomes a multi-word noun that is countable. Therefore, a dinner event or a lunch meeting is correct. I'm going to prepare another lesson for you on common errors people make with countable and uncountable nouns, so keep an eye out for that. I used in a rush or in a hurry in this lesson when talking about take your time. This is very useful English for you to know, and you must use the preposition in and the article a when you want to say things like, I can't talk now as I'm in a rush. There is no difference between rush and hurry. They are interchangeable. If you want to say the opposite, you can say, I'm not in a hurry or I'm in no hurry. If you ask someone to do something, but it doesn't have to be done immediately, you can say, there's no hurry. Next week is fine. I used this word and want to discuss it here because every one of my students mispronounce this word. The correct pronunciation of this word is colleague, league. Think of league as in La Liga, for example. It is not college. College is colegio, or it can be a university as well in many parts of the English-speaking world. But that is a completely different sound, college. College is making the j sound. Here in colleague, there is no j sound. And it doesn't sound good if you don't pronounce the league part correctly. So again, it's colleague. Conversation and discussion have the same meaning. A discussion is a normal conversation and does not suggest aggression or disagreement like it does in Spanish. It is a false friend. For that we have to say an argument or to have a fight. There does not have to be any physical contact to use the word fight. Checkout has two main meanings in English. We can check out of a hotel when we are leaving and need to pay the bill, or we go to the checkout at the supermarket when we want to pay. You'll often see it on websites, so in where you see checkout, cesta, or the place where you have to pay on the website. These have the same meaning in these contexts. But when someone says, check this out, or check that out, check out my new car, for example, they are asking you to take a look at, or maybe to investigate it. It depends on the context. The police might check out a suspicious vehicle. See you in the next lesson, and please don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons so that you don't miss more lessons like this.